Thank you. As she said, I'm Paul. I'm a QA evangelist. I've been doing QA for 6 or 7 years now. And a couple weeks ago, met Fred and Russ and started talking about Rainforest. And was really exciting because I'd never heard of anything like it. They're taking a new approach to QA, and when they started talking to me about a job offer, I was like, yes, that sounds amazing, because what Rainforest is, it's a new way to approach the problem of getting your software tested. So kind of abstracts the pain of the usual QA process away, so you can kind of focus on everything else you have to do when you're running your business. So what we do at Rainforest is test case management. We also execute the tests, and then we give you a nice fancy report at the end of the cycle. So what that looks like is you get this nice fancy web dashboard where you can see the browsers you're running. You can sort them by tags, and people from your team can log in and see how the test cases are executing. So something like Jenkins or another CI solution might be a little too complex for like product managers or non-technical people on your team, but Rainforest is fundamentally like a plain English, accessible to everybody type solution. And we're also a human-powered QA engine, which means our test cases tend to be more robust than your average Selenium or other type of tests. So this is what our human-powered testers see when they're running through your web apps. And at the end of the whole cycle, you get a nice little reporting dashboard that shows you all the green check marks for good tests and red X's for bad tests. So if you're curious about what went right or what went wrong, you can click into one of these guys and see exactly what the tester saw, and help you track down exactly what's going wrong with your product, whether it be on staging, production, or whatever environment you're executing the tests on. So some quick stats about where we're at with Rainforest. We've executed 1.1 million test runs so far. That number is just like exploding. We're seeing huge amount of growth, and we're nearing close to $2.5 million saved for our customers. So yeah, these guys. We're really excited to just like continue rolling out new tools to shake things up in the testing community, because we see a big opportunity to improve everything there. So while you guys are here, we're doing an announcement. So we have really good coverage right now for desktop, and today we're announcing support for our first mobile client. So mobile web, hopefully some of you guys here have heard of that. And many of you probably designing your websites with responsive design in mind, and we're seeing a huge amount of mobile traffic coming into our websites. It's hard to log on to any tech news site these days and not read an article about how mobile's just taking over the whole space. So that's where we see everything kind of converging in the future. So today's announcement is we're releasing Android support for our test platform. So what this means is you get Android web browsers. We're giving you tablet and generic phone devices, and you can test in landscape and portrait orientations. So how easy is that to set up? Literally all you have to do is log into Rainforest and check one of these boxes. You're off to the races. And what does it look like? When our testers go in to test on an Android device, they're actually seeing an Android client running. So you're getting legitimate test results from the platform, which is great. It's not a simulator. It's ugly. It's real. So you're getting good results. Simulators tend to be sandboxed and kind of contained from all the nastiness of apps crossing over into each other. So we like that. We like the ugly, nasty stuff getting over to you. Cool, and yeah, this is where we're headed. So Android right now is just supporting the native Chrome web browser, but we're going to be adding support for more browsers in the future. We're going to be adding support for iOS as well. And towards the end of the year, we're going to be pushing support for native apps too. So we got some exciting stuff in the pipeline. And yeah, if you're interested, you can get started with Rainforest QA. Just head to RainforestQA.com or venture over to one of these handsome bearded gentlemen over here. And there's a good chance if you see anyone with a beard in Heavybit, like 50%, I think they probably work for Rainforest. So just tap them on the shoulder and talk to you. Any questions? So this is my CTO, giving me a hard time. So what's interesting about Rainforest is most testing tends to fall into either a manual or an automation kind of mindset. So you're hiring a big manual team, bringing them in-house. They don't tend to integrate well with development practices like continuous integration and continuous delivery. Manual tends to be a slow process where you hand things off to QA and you wait 2 days to get results. And an automation-minded focus has a lot of overhead to keep it up to date, tends to be fragile. There are Selenium tests that are brittle that I'm sure all of us have suffered through. So what's unique about Rainforest is you get kind of the best of both worlds. You can type tests in plain English, and they're robust. There's a human being executing them. And you can replace those brittle Selenium tests and supplement your automation platform. And you know, it all runs in parallel. It's running on top of Amazon Mechanical Turks. So we have over 30,000 people eager to grab onto these jobs. So anytime you kick off a test run, we find like your results get back to you in under 30 minutes. Average test run is like 17 minutes or so. I see a lot of big use cases in like the gaming industry, honestly. That's just insanely hard to test on. And for the most part, most friends I have that are doing QA in the game industry, they've given up on doing automation testing there. It's all manual. So we can bring some semblance of automation to those guys. Anything that's difficult to test in traditional QA is great for Rainforest, honestly. So there are e-commerce sites that have color pickers that, you know, that's something that you just traditionally give up on and say, like, well, screw it, we'll just test that manually every time we deploy the website. That's the sort of thing that we pick up on really easily. So yeah, basically any test case that you see your QA like hanging his head and shaking, like that's what we're good at doing fast.